escape from the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break one for cover. Bet's gonna cover, bet's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Sunday, October the 12th. We're ready for another great day of NFL action, and it's going to be a great card today, and we're just about set to get going here in just a couple of moments. We're going to do away with some of the pleasantries and kind of get right to the action. I see a bunch of you here in the chat with Flea, Twisted, Nick Handy in there as well. Nuke is in there, and I'll catch up on your messages in just a moment, but got to get ready to go here. We're just 12 minutes away or so from kickoff. Got to have probably national anthem and some festivities over here in London, but let's talk about the game here. We're seeing a little bit of a move to the Jets here, maybe at post time. Starting to see just maybe some juiced 6.5s out there. Still feels like mostly 7. Maybe you got to lay 15 to take the Jets in this spot if you can stand it, right? Certainly the Broncos might be a little bit of the public side here. Coming in a much better team, obviously. The Jets with big-time struggles here, just trying to get their first win. You don't even know if they have what it takes here with some of their limited options today, but nonetheless, they're getting 7 points here. That might be enticing enough for you to take them against the Broncos here. A pretty good matchup for the Broncos, especially for their running game, for sure, with Dobbins and maybe some Harvey in there as well. And Sutton looks primed for a great matchup here in this one. So does Evan Ingram. We've been waiting for big performances. We got a good one from Ingram last time against Philly with a touchdown. Could be a good day for Ingram as well. I kind of like these Jets, but still we're in London, and Broncos do possess a terrific defense, and the Jets haven't scored more than 20 points, pretty much all season. So, I mean, what can they really do with this offense, especially if the running game can't get on track? I mean, that is the Broncos' specialty. Yeah, you got Breece Hall. Those numbers are pretty high. I know he's going to get a lot of use for sure, so maybe he can get to those prop numbers. But, man, 100 yards of total offense for Breece Hall? Maybe. But Denver's so good, seems like, against the running backs, it's going to be tough. And beyond that, can Fields connect with Josh Reynolds? Reynolds has a great matchup if Fields can find the time or the scramble to get it to him down there. But after that, what are you going to do? Garrett Wilson, it's not a terrific matchup for Wilson. Now, he'll certainly get plenty of looks here, and then, 5.5, maybe he can get up to 6 receptions. But against Denver, that's kind of a specialty of theirs, a little bit of a tough matchup. It's still, he's been hot with those touchdowns in 3 consecutive games. So what are you guys doing in the chat? We'll cover a little more here, lead right up to kickoff with this one if you want, with maybe some of the props and some of the players as well. Those are pretty much the players that I like here. I'm not too interested in Mims Jr., or Franklin. I'm kind of neutral on them. Maybe Adam Troutman in the backup tight end role, that Ingram can get some work here too. And out of the kickers and the way the Broncos can probably put enough drives, well, I would think Will Lutz is probably okay here. I might fade Nick Folk a little bit in this one. And maybe for an outside shot here, you still got to look at Tyler Johnson, man. I mean, when are they going to get him involved? It seems like it would be a good option for the Jets. Let's go to the chat and get some comments from you folks as we get ready for this one here from London. The Jets have given up so far more than 30 points per game. They've given up 34, 30, 27, 29, 37. They do have losses by 2 points in 2 of the games, but the opponent has gone over their team total in all 5 games so far this season. The Jets are a mistake waiting to happen with -8 in turnovers. They're 5-13 against the spread in their last 18 coming in. They're also 0-9-1 against the spread their last 10 games as an underdog. How are you going to trust the Jets here? But still at 7 points, I'm finding myself hard to fade those numbers really a little bit. The Denver 2 losses were by a total of 4 points from being 5-0 right now. They beat the Eagles, of course. They've been good so far, 11-8 against the spread as a favorite under Peyton. So let's go to the chat, see what you guys have here. We still got several minutes to go, but I want to say hello to everyone. I think we got a good start to the show with this one. I'm going to take the under, I think, in this game at 43.5. It keeps going lower, it feels like, here right now. And can the Jets get enough offense at all? And then maybe will Denver, end up a little bit short of 27 points? Because I would guess, you look at a game like this, what's it going to be? 24-17? Well, that'd be an under. That'd be a Denver win by 7 points or so. 24-19 would be a Jets cover, but will they hold Denver to that many? 27-19 would be a cover, but then that's going way over. Flea opened us up, and he was, hey, hope you guys had a great night with us last night with UFC coverage. Charles Oliveira with the win. I had 3 losses on the card last night. Not a bad night. For me, won the first 5 fights, was on a roll there. We had some good picks in there too. Pilastri by knockout, Rocha by decision we had right in there. And we scored with other winners, including Lucerda, Mesquita, Petrino in there as well. We had Aswell. How about Michael Aswell? That was pretty awesome, wasn't it? He really smashed his opponent in that fight. The Brazilian, and Aswell scores. We had Oakley as well, and we had Alvarez, and we had Oliveira as well. So pretty good night there with 9 wins and 3 losses. One of the better cards there for a few weeks for sure. And Twisted said, great day of college football. Man, was it ever? How about some of the games yesterday? We'll maybe touch on a few of them here and get rolling with the show with the NFL. Today, Nick Handy's got the Broncos. I'm leaning to the under here. I don't blame these Broncos backers. It's just that it just feels too obvious here? Can the Jets grind something out here and get a cover on a neutral field? The Broncos have been on fire, but still, man, you got to continue to pound these guys. Lazard is out for the Jets. Nwangu is probable for the Jets here. All right, let's see who else is here. Twisted's got the under. Maybe take the Jets on the money line. It's hard. It's hard to even get on a show here and kind of recommend the Jets without ending up with egg on your face. But neutral field, obviously, here. Let's see what else. Denver's defense not giving up any yards. And Jets try to run the ball. Again, you do have a pretty good back in Hall, and maybe he can be a little bit of a neutralizer against a pretty good Denver run defense. I don't know, where you rank him in there. I mean, certainly in the top of the top 5 or so. You could probably argue one way or the other. Nuke is here. He's ready to go as well. Kripke says the Brewers, that was easy. 3-1 last night. The Brewers get the win with 3 solo home runs. I don't want to say it was boring, but it was a thing of beauty if you were a Brewers fan. Cubs, didn't really get their chances. And Mizorowski, hey, the way we dialed it up, right? We just kind of said, look, they're going to be piecing it together here a little bit. And Mizorowski is going to be the guy maybe to get in there and deal some innings, 6 innings. 6 outs for Mizorowski. He was really the best of the pitchers out there and made the difference too. But all the pitchers were fine for the Brewers. We've said all season that the Brewers were good and everything. Hey, you guys watching basketball right now? Brewers pitching was good. I mean, to be so vague on that, but a minute to go in the game. Brooklyn by 4 here right now against Phoenix in this one. I think it's going to go over here. It looks like, and it looks like Brooklyn's going to get the money here in the game in Macau. I'm watching. Well, I was watching it anyway till I came to join you guys. Here's Denver and under. We saw Coco Gauff win today in Wuhan over Pagula. Pagula gave her a little bit of threat in the second set, but Gauff won in straight sets. Everyone like this video, subscribe to our channel Sports Money here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Blake is here. Timothy is here. Bobby Mack here today. Twisted says going to go with the dog here with the Jets. I don't want to be alone here. Kind of going with the under as my play here on the show, though, if I can. I think that's my preferred play here on the show, taking the under in the game. I'd be worried, but you know what? I just can't keep going to the well with this Denver team. They're great. Okay, Blake on the under here, and Derek under her as well. Thanks, you guys, for joining me here. We're just at the national anthems. Broncos for Timothy. Andrew says you work all week and you're going to put your money on the Jets, right? God, 0-5. And Aaron Glenn, I mean, not saying it was just, hey, Aaron Glenn, great Jet, right? A great defensive player. But to me, when you go, I'll say this right now, when you go to the situation where you have if you're the Jets, if you're even the Giants, if you got one of these teams, you go for a marquee coach. Aaron Glenn was a legendary player. All right, Bobby Mack going under. Kripke on the Jets. Reddy Samedi is here. Hi, Reddy. Cash Kane. Elliot joining us today. And let's see here. Elliot Broncos under. Reddy's building a parlay. Well, I don't know. Should we just do a money line parlay? Maybe with the Broncos? I don't know. What do you want? Broncos and Colts? Well, a couple big money lines. Those are the biggest money lines, maybe. If I'm talking about a favorites parlay. If you want to go for some dogs parlay, I'm going to give out some dogs here. Maybe they'll win. Elliot says it's dropped to 43.5 at FanDuel here late. And Twisted says, look, I mean, you got Denver's offense, nothing to fear, and their defense might even be overrated. It's a good case. Again, 2 points away or 4 points away, basically, from being 5-0. This team's been solid, but they don't possess the ability to blow teams out, I think is what it comes down to. They might today, though. Dobbins looks strong, and he kind of got the reinforcement, even though Harvey's been on the minds of a lot of bettors and fantasy players this week. They kind of said Dobbins still number one. Don't make any mistake about it. Dobbins going to get those number one carries. And Cortland Sutton, I mean, say what you will even about his career. I don't know if this is kind of the peak of his career. He's had some moments, right? I mean, throughout his career, he's been up and down, had big games here and there, but it feels like it's a true number one option. Yeah, it feels like Cortland Sutton's kind of at the height of his career a little bit with Bo Nix here. But beyond that, like I said, Marvin Mims Jr., kind of neutral on him. And Troy Franklin certainly is a nice job for him to come in here and do pretty well. But Evan Ingram today, I'd really be looking to Evan Ingram here today, maybe even for that first touchdown, maybe for an ATD here. I think Ingram, given the prices, might be my favorite player on the Jets today to get that done. All right, here comes a few more. Ziggy's on the Jets, and we'll get to the show here while the game starts. I think we're all in. They're all in the gate. And VAR likes the Broncos. All right, thanks, everybody, for joining me here on the show. We're going to go over the other NFL games as well and get your picks in the chat, All-Stars. Remember, you can log in and make a comment here with my chat, All Stars, and in turn you can win some free picks from me. I did go 2-0 in tennis last night. I had Coco Gauff minus 2.5 games, and I also came in with Vacherat. I took him to win the final there, and he did with a great performance over Rinderknecht for Vacherat. So we went 2-0. If you want to get some plays from me, look, I just send out my best plays. I don't know. It's like reading the newspaper, maybe. Check me out over at winnable.com/Ramon. And I'll also award someone with free plays here at the end of the show. All right, I'm just looking at the games. I'm stumbling over my words a little bit and getting ready to go down the other games here. We'll talk NFL while we watch NFL. Who's got the fastest speed in the chat? Nasty Nate had a huge day yesterday with the UFC, the college football. Nate was rocking yesterday. There's wine time in the chat. Have a great day. Wine time today. Awesome to have you guys ready to go, and we're ready to go with the game here today. All right, let's get ready to go down the other games here right now. Let me talk a little bit about college football with you guys from yesterday and talk about the best games real quick while they kick this thing off. What a card, huh? Yesterday, and some crazy games, some bizarre games, not much of a return here. Going to stuff them. That's how you do it at the 19-yard line. First off, of course, we talked about the Brewers there, I guess. How about Northwestern shocking Penn State? Penn State becomes the first team in 30 years to lose consecutive games when they were favored by 20 points or more in both of them. Aller out for the season. It was revealed after the game he injured his leg, and he's out of eligibility. I think he might be heading to the NFL, trying to get a job there. I mean, I don't know where Aller lies. Look, he made some money at Penn State, upwards of $4 million. Don't cry for him other than the fact that it does suck to get an injury and your season's over. Northwestern drove 75 yards for the game-winning touchdown with 4:50 left, and you can't cover 22 points if you can't score 22 points if you're Penn State. Pittsburgh beat Florida State as the Seminoles lost again, 8 straight ACC losses. How about the quarterback freshman Henschel, 321 yards and 2 touchdowns? Got to be exciting here for Pittsburgh. The passing was going on big time there, averaging over 10 yards per attempt. Alabama over Missouri. Missouri got the money, though, yesterday. Ty Simpson, 200 yards, 3 TDs. Is Alabama back? They've won 5 in a row since that loss to Florida State, held Missouri to 1 of 10 on third down. But Missouri mostly got the money by a point there yesterday. And, Alabama got the win. Missouri got the money. There were plenty of upsets, too, yesterday. Marshall, 14.5-point dog, spiked Old Dominion, doubled them up, 48-24. Bowling Green over Toledo, 28-23 is a 10-point dog. Kennesaw hammered Louisiana Tech the other night, don't forget. And exciting finish, Navy over Temple. Blake Horvath ran for a 51-yard touchdown with 39 seconds left right after Temple had taken the lead. Then the Middies went for a 2-point conversion and got it. They stay undefeated at 6-0. Navy. Horvath had nearly 300 yards. This ball is loose. Is that a fumble? If so, I think the Jets might have it. Temple outgained Navy. They led 17-7 at halftime, and Navy came back big time. Nebraska beat Maryland 34-31. Nebraska drove 81 yards, scored the game-winning touchdown. Cisco's got it. I'll refrain from singing the Cisco songs. Nebraska game-winning TD with a minute left. Maryland got the money as Nebraska was the runaway favorite. Open 4, closed 7 or so, maybe 6.5. Cornhuskers 5-1. Raiola 4 touchdowns, 3 picks. That's what you get with Raiola. UNLV over Air Force 51-48. Air Force missed a field goal on the last play of the game. Calandria, a 19-yard touchdown for the game-winning TD. Rebels 6-0. They're bowl eligible. Air Force ran the ball for 428 yards. Somehow lost the game. Georgia over Auburn. Auburn led 10-0 in the second quarter. Then that controversial fumble at the goal line. We looked at it from every angle. We blew it up every time, and I don't know how we can't get this right. Georgia won it beat Auburn for the 9th straight time. The Dogs only average over 2 yards a carry, 31 carries, 79 yards, and Auburn had a bunch of penalties. How about UCLA, a national championship contender at 2-4? Fire the coach, change the play caller. They busted Michigan State 38-31. The Bruins won their last 2 games by scoring 80 points after an 0-4 start. Berger, 3 touchdowns for UCLA. They outgained the Spartans 415 to 250 yesterday. UCLA has turned it around, obviously, here. Ole Miss, 33-point favorites. They won by 3. They hung on, too. Wazoo led 14-10 with 2 minutes to go, but Ole Miss improved to 6-0 by holding the Cougars to 2 of 10 in the third down conversions. Game of the day, Troy over Texas State, one of the games of the day, 48-41 in overtime. Troy forced overtime by scoring a touchdown with a minute to go in the game. Indiana beat Oregon 30-20. Francisco Mendoza, a touchdown, 215 yards. I don't know if it's Heisman worthy, but did win on the road against Oregon as a big underdog. Indiana outscored the Ducks 10-0 over the final 7 minutes. Looked like the better team out there. Oregon had their 18-game home winning streak snapped. BYU over Arizona after a weather delay, 33-27 to go to 6-0. Arizona just 4 of 17 on third down. BYU rushed for 258 yards. Arizona led at halftime, but there was that kind of a weather delay in there. So hopefully you guys had a great day, and thank you for joining me here on the show. All right, Jets have the ball right now at the Denver 40-yard line, but a 3rd down and 13 here. Not even quite in field goal range yet for Folk, but Fields takes off running. He's going to get down to the 34, well short of the first down, but could go for a 51-yard field goal here. Probably can do it with Nick Folk. All right, let's see who else. Let me get it going here with the folks in the chat. Thank you, everybody. And once again, Robert, he still couldn't do it at 7.5. But Nuke says Ohio State continued, right? We don't even talk. I mean, it was such a, I don't want to say a dull. I mean, Ohio State just got it done. This is going to be 52, actually, here from Folk. And I think he's got this for sure. 3-0 Jets here, 4 minutes into the game. All right, thanks, you guys. Let's keep it rolling here right now. Other results yesterday. Man, that big day of hockey, forget about it. We'll just go into the NFL. We want to talk NFL. We're watching NFL. Browns versus Steelers to get us going here with the Browns. 6-point underdog. Dylan Gabriel at quarterback today for the Browns. And the Steelers here, pretty big favorite. And this line has moved up here considerably from as low as 4 up to 6 here. I mean, we know that Cleveland's kind of shuffled things here now with the trading of Flacco and kind of, solid with Gabriel here. And I don't even talk about the backup quarterback situation. Who cares? I mean, they're going to have somebody in there. But still, when you got a Browns team going up here against the Steelers in an NFC North game, you got to figure there's going to be some defense. But this total's pretty low here right now at 38.5 coming in. And the Steelers a touchdown favorite. I mean, doesn't seem like they would be able to score that many points. But if they're going to win, they usually do score a lot of points. They've scored 34. They've scored 24. So far this season, they've been opportunistic as well at +7 in the turnover department. For the Browns here, I think it's the first team ever not to have a bye week when coming in out of London. So let me see. Oh, no, just the first one in quite a while. I guess that's what they said. It's actually happened 17 times previously, but they had been going to a bye for several years. So that is something to note, I guess. Hasn't really affected 9-8 against the spread. Teams with no bye after overseas games. Browns are 5-11 though against the spread. Last 15 off of a loss. Also, just 8-17 ATS. Last 25 as a road underdog, and 4-15 ATS last 19 division road games. And now you're coming in here feeling undermanned anyway, and the Browns feel like they're already in rebuild. I don't know what kind of mode the Browns are in Browns mode. It feels like home teams won 9 of the last 10 in the series. The Browns are 0-5 straight up and against the spread. Their last 5 visits here into Pittsburgh. How are they going to manage any offense here with this lineup today? Well, still a pretty low total. You have Aaron Rodgers. Can Dylan Gabriel put up enough points here? Or the Steelers just going to shut them down and shut them out right now? I'm going to go under in this one with the Browns and the Steelers here on the morning steam. You can give me your picks here in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. See what we got. All right. Kripke likes the Mariners here tonight, and Terrell says I got to see Justin Fields probably pick up some yardage here on the ground now, given the situation that he's seen with this game. And here's a nice return by the Broncos out to the 38-yard line. Ziggy's on the Steelers here, and here's Twisted. He took Pittsburgh at that 4 the other day. Blake's laying 5.5. Ziggy says you got Tomlin off of a bye. You got to like that. VAR says Steelers money line. Blake Nuke is on the Steelers as well. Tomlin against rookie quarterbacks. It all works together. Nuke says it probably just out of desperation. They're like, oh, geez, we forgot to give the Browns a bye. And they're like, don't worry about it. They're no good anyways. Robert's on the under. And I think that's kind of it here. I'm going to take the under in Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh might have enough to just, you don't expect Pittsburgh to paste anybody at this point just because, actually they're experiencing maybe a little bit of a resurgence that maybe I don't want to say no one saw coming. I mean, when you get Aaron Rodgers, you're like, hey, we're going for it, remember? But then there was a lot of, oh, come on, Rodgers isn't going to make the difference here and all that. But like I said, this feels like a little bit better situation for Aaron Rodgers. They might go 9-8. They might go, I don't know if they'll go 10-7, but all right. Give me the under here. And Jessica is here. There she is. He says, take Aaron Rodgers over in his passing. Tom Reghard, nice to see you. He says he's got the under in the Jets game and the under in the Steelers game. I'm with you. All right. Let's move on here now. We got news in this one overnight. And, I get it here. You got a big change in quarterback overnight as it looks like Kyler Murray not going to make this starting lineup. So they've gone to Jacoby Brissett. Now, before everybody gets all excited and says, hey, you know what? I might take Jacoby Brissett over Kyler Murray. Let's dial it back just a little bit. But whether or not you think it is worthy enough to move this point spread up to 9.5 or 10 from as low as 5. Now, I know it was going up already with the Colts there, right? Maybe even 5.5 on that number before, but a big move here because Brissett maybe is not that guy that even we saw trying to mop it up in New England a little bit, and the Colts are obviously on fire right now. It seems like they're unstoppable. But the Cardinals are a team that kind of gets some numbers in situations like this. I tell you what, if it was Kyler Murray, I would be pretty happy about it, even at 5.5 points. I'm not saying that the Colts are a letdown team. I don't know if they are. At this point, they might be one, they're obviously establishing themselves as one of the top AFC contenders here. Right now. So I think that is an important factor. The Cardinals they've lost their last 3 games, but they've lost them by a total of 5 points. So they're playing very, very competitive. It's just that last week's game was only the worst choke job in NFL history, kind of. So last week was the first time, though, that the Cardinals had gained they didn't quite get to 300 yards, but I think it was their best game of the season. Gannon and the Cardinals 10-6 on the road against the spread under Gannon. Colts here at home, they're scoring lights out, 33, 29, and 40 points so far. Practically a 30-point per game team right now. So Steichen is the man here. I mean, he's the man that's kind of engineered this whole thing, it feels like. And now that they got a capable quarterback in here, it really, really has made a great difference here. Indy's 9-2 against the spread as a home favorite under Steichen. Also 9-5 against the spread non-division games as well. So see what you got here in the chat, but I'm going to probably take the under in this game at 46. It says 46.5 there on screen, but I'm going to take the under here on the Morning Steam show. God, I think the Cardinals, though, they're playing pretty competitively. Brissett is look, we might make fun of Kyler. We might talk about mistakes that he makes and stuff like that, and maybe he's not ever going to be that guy, but he's still that guy that, can still get out there and make a heck of a lot of plays that Jacoby Brissett just can't make. So feels like the Cardinals are playing steady enough to hang within double digits here, but I'm going to take the under for sure as the play on the Morning Steam show. All right, let's go to it. Colts and under here. NYC bar just says I'm going to tone it down. This is going to be a 57-yard field goal right here for Lutz. I said in the intro, you really want to. I would like to take Lutz. I kind of said I don't want to go with Folk. I'm not fading him, but I really like Lutz in this spot from 57. Oh, it's going to be good. Oh man, it could have been in Denver with that one. Geez, that would have been good from 67 in Denver. Will Lutz smashed that one. Robert's going under in the Colts and Cardinals game. I talk about it, and probably making fun of me, right? But when I see that ball doing this, that's a good kick, right? That's a good kick. You don't want to see it going. Whoa. Colts defensive TD in that game. Take it live. Colts, a good point by Blake here. Colts familiar with Brissett. Cardinals, let's see. Ziggy says Cardinals. We've seen backup quarterbacks do well there. All right. And Tom Regard in here says take the points. Nasty Nate's wondering about Johnston. Yeah, pretty sure Johnston's playing. Also, we did get the news on Hampton. Looks like 4 weeks for Hampton. So feels like all that good momentum for the Chargers are kind of burning out here a little bit. I don't know if they really have the depth to withstand something like this. They're obviously playing well enough and start off with such a good record here that it just feels like, they can kind of ride it out a little bit. But offensive line problems now as well. So, oh man, it just feels like the injury bug here is, kind of the problem here at this point for the Chargers. But look for Ladd McConkey in there, and probably also a little bit of Keenan back here a little bit. We saw him busting there. So I don't know what Johnson's story is right now. All right, let's keep it rolling here. And Tom was on the Cards. No one's going to want the Cardinals. I know, but these are the teams that I take in the NFL. I always take the teams nobody wants. All right. Timmy talking about those field goals. Colts team total over here, says Terrell. And Ziggy said what I did. I'm in NFL. I almost want the teams nobody wants. Like this video, subscribe to our channel Sports Money here on YouTube. The Rams are at the Ravens here in this one. The Rams are 7-point favorites against the lowly Ravens. It's hard to say that, but it's not getting any better right now for the Ravens, and it feels like the Rams are clicking. Now, this might be that spot with the Ravens, but after last week, after I wanted to go with them with Cooper Rush, and I said, hey, we used to love when Cooper Rush was in there a few times on the Cowboys getting it done, but didn't really work out last week, and I'm not sure it's going to this week. This is Jets out here well into Denver territory. They're going to have great field position, a big return. Well, we mentioned in Wangu, but not on the special teams, but he was busting it out there for a huge return from the 5-yard line all the way into Denver territory. Should have been wrapped up. Two guys couldn't get him, and then he broke into the open and was free. How does 9-2 not wrap him up there? All right. So here we go with the crew, and you've got Rams here. Feels like a pretty okay situation for sure. Maybe to lay some points on the road in this one. Last week, the Rams stumbled a little bit in the red zone. I'm a little bit worried about some of that red zone offense right now, but they also threw for 435 yards in the last 735 yards in the last 2 games. Rams 26-19 against the spread off of a loss, 7-1 ATS last 8 as a road favorite, 9-3 ATS against AFC teams. A good spot for the Rams with some of these. They thump Tennessee. They still had that incredible game at Philly. I know they lost, and still, wasn't terrible. But the Ravens here now without Jackson, it's just disaster waiting to happen. -6 in turnovers without him here right now. And Ravens at this point, 6-2 as home dogs. It might be enough points for you here, but I just feel like the Rams are going to smash them here today. And maybe the Ravens will have a little bit of offense because the Rams will be so far ahead. I'm going to go over in this game with the Rams and the Ravens today. Rams looks like a great situation for them, actually. All right, Fields pressured. Oh, boy, that was dangerous, and the man was there to make the stop. 4th down. Punt time, I think. See where that – oh, no, it's field goal range. They were at the 23 or so. Okay, here we go after that big return. All right. Colts for Kripke. And this one's going to be from 41 yards. Nick Folk. He's got it. You got to make your kicks in London. You can't be missing kicks in these soccer stadiums, these European soccer stadiums. Ziggy likes the over. Ravens here for Ibar. Elliott Ramzan over. Terrell philosophy here talking about those. When to go on them, when you don't, though, right? I mean, look, I'm taking the Rams here. Stafford over in his passing yards. Duke says can't do it on the Rams on the road. Can't bet Baltimore either. Tom says go over. Bobby Max on the Ravens plus the points. See? And Timmy Juice is still in their current form. And Stanton is here. He says 2-2. Receiving yards over. He only catches those bombs. And, man, does he ever making those great plays? All right. Give me the over here with the Rams and the Ravens. Yeah. Next up, we've got the Seahawks taking on the Jaguars here in this one. You got the Seahawks on the road taking on these hot Jaguars. They're inches away from being cold, if you know what I mean, right? I mean, look, we praised Trevor Lawrence last week. Really, cut mistakes, he turned into great plays. He might be that quarterback who he turns mistakes into great plays, and that would be kind of an awkward thing to be known for. But maybe that's the difference sometimes. Maybe that's the difference right now with Jacksonville. Why, playing as well as they've had here with this record currently, 4-1. Seattle comes in here 3-2. This feels like one of the premier games of the day, actually, with Seattle coming in. It's a pick 'em right now, pretty much everywhere, but we are seeing a few shops out there with Seattle just a slight favorite in this one. Jacksonville at home, they probably better to be trusted there. And Seattle, look, they've won 3 of their last 4. They're scoring plenty of points with Darnold, 33 points a game in some of those games here right now. And so Seattle here, 2-0 also on the road against the Steelers, against Arizona here at this point. So Seattle 11-3 against the spread, last 14 as a road dog as well. For Jacksonville, they won their last 3 by 7, by 3, by 5 points. They beat Kansas City, looked pretty good. This coach, Liam Cohen, seems to be the ticket for these guys right now to kind of change the fortunes, or change the locker room, or change the personnel for just the right moves for Jacksonville right now. And Seattle has lost their last 2 trips in here to Jacksonville, but man, I kind of want to take them today. I want to take Jacksonville in this game I want to take Seattle in this game. I'm watching the kickoff here. You know what's my favorite play? I'm going to take Seattle on the road against Jacksonville here. I want Seattle in this game. Let's go to the chat and see what you have here. Jaguars and under here for Elliott. Seahawks for Ziggy. Stan likes the Jags to score, I think, here. Terrell says Seattle and Seattle full game, nukes on the Jags. Stan's on Jacksonville and plus and receiving there. Here's Robert on Seattle money line today. Blake's on Seattle. VAR is on the Jaguars. And Tom says, how about the Seahawks there? How about a Charbonnet touchdown? Open is a receiver here to the 47-yard line, and that's going to start to get Sutton involved here now. Took Sutton in some props here today, over 4.5 receptions. All right, I'm going to take Seattle in this one. I do. It feels like one of the better games of the day right here. Seattle is definitely playing pretty well. I don't think they're a marquee team yet this season, or will be maybe here. But a 3-2, close calls and losses. Jacksonville 4-1 with that big high-profile win over the Chiefs. Next up, the Cowboys are on the road against the Panthers. You'd think the Cowboys, if you're the Cowboys, you should be able to win this one. But watch out. Carolina's having a little bit of a surge here, just a tiny bit. They have 2 wins. I mean, so does Dallas. So what could happen here, do you think, today with Dallas on the road going up against Carolina? I mean, you think Dallas has, the superior talent here right now, but seeing a little bit of life here from the Panthers of late. They've won both games at home. They beat Atlanta 30-0 and beat Miami 27-24. Now, they're allowing some points here for sure. The defense isn't. Remember, some years like, well, at least Carolina's got a little bit of defense. Not necessarily here yet. But under Canales, Panthers 6-3, ATS as a home dog coming into this one. And also, so far, Carolina here against Dallas.
Final.
1-6 straight up, 2-5 ATS against Dallas here, and it's a semi-occasional series. But Dallas still with their issues here a little bit. I mean, they can't stop anybody because Carolina have enough offense here to kind of carry it. If you look at the total, you'd think yes, if you believe what the bookmakers and bettors are doing, right? I mean, you're looking at a game here that's somewhere in the close to the 27-23 range or something like that for Dallas. So Panthers are expected to score here upwards of 23 or 24 points. So why wouldn't they be able to stay in the game, or at least be able to put the points on the board? Doesn't sound like a blowout, because the Panthers are expected to score points, and Dallas is allowing 440 yards per game so far this season. Dallas -3 in turnovers here right now, but last 2 games, 10 touchdowns on 21 drives. Here comes Denver down to the 40 of the Jets. So I've got the over in this one with Dallas and Carolina. I think it will be an offensive game for sure. Dallas is showing some pretty big weaknesses defensively, and Carolina's not showing great defense. And let's see what we've got here. We've got Stan talking about that Seattle game with JSN. Here's Elliot. He says Cowboys and over. Ziggy likes the over. Stan says he thinks the Panthers at home today. Jags for Brody. Hi, Brody. Thank you for your support of me here on the Sports Money Network. Bobby Mack says Panthers. Barr is on the Cowboys here. And Timmy says he's hoping that Jacksonville will get their share. And you got the Dowdle game here, right? And talking about the running backs there. Panthers run it well. They can slow down the game. That might be an under kind of trend there a little bit. But Dowdle, hey, right now he's at the peak of his – look, he had some great games with Dallas. He definitely was inconsistent. Didn't always get the Lions share sometimes of the carries that maybe he deserved. Remember, he was back there a little bit when they were still trying to run Elliott in there and stuff, right? Hanging out like as a backup. And right now he's looking real good. Tom on the over. Blake's on the Cowboys. McMillan with an ATD. Can't forget one of the hottest rookies in the game for sure. Is he the rookie of the year? One of the rookies of the year? Here's Kripke on the Panthers. Dowdle for a touchdown, says Robert. And there's a lot of Dowdle here. And Duke says that Cowboys schedule's been tougher. Yep. And you know what? That's the way it is sometimes in the NFL, right? The weaker teams do play an easier schedule. Remember, you play the other team in your conference, the equivalent team. If you finish fourth, you play the fourth place team in the other divisions the next year. That's why there's parity. That's why there's some parity sometimes. Cowboys have that talent offensively, but man, this defense. So give me the over in this one. All right, next up. The Chargers are taking on the Dolphins, and the Chargers here haven't won in Miami since 1983. Or is it 82? Was it the 82 season or was it the 83 game? It was the AFC Championship game, one of the greatest games in NFL history, and the Chargers won it. Incredible game. Featured a memorable flea flicker by the Dolphins. Featured a blocked field goal. Man, the Chargers needed IVs. Kellen Winslow walking off the field. They played in unseasonably hot conditions in Miami in January and then had to go play in minus 44-degree weather the next week. No wonder the Chargers lost in the AFC Championship game to the Bengals. But it was an incredible game, and the Chargers haven't won here since. So that's basically what? At least 43 years. Today's the day they're favored to win, but the Chargers are breaking down all of a sudden, man. Come on, what's going on here? Feels like the Chargers are, having some offensive line issues. Now you've got some injuries on offense here as well. So Miami, they're showing a little bit of life. They do have just one win, so no wonder the Chargers are favored here. But, they're getting some production here from Waddle a little bit. Definitely a little bit of passing from Tua. They're starting to spark it up a little bit here. They're terrible. We know that. Chargers should win, but between Waddle, between Waller, I don't know, Malik Washington here. It's not a bad matchup for the Chargers. They still should have some offense going here. Total's at 43.5 there. But can the Chargers, can they get to 24-ish or something here? They should have a pretty strong game. Hassan Haskins right now is the man everybody wants to put their prop money on. Hassan Haskins has reasonable numbers still, despite all the steam coming in, because he's going to get such a share of the workload now with Hampton out. And great matchup for the receiving core of the Chargers, especially McConkey and Allen here. McConkey's finally rising up here at this point. A great, looks like a great possession receiver. So still we'll see. Like Nate said about Johnston here, listed as questionable for the game today. So I'm apt to trust McConkey here. In fact, the last update does say Johnston now doubtful. Keenan Allen So I think the numbers are solid. It's a wide open touchdown for Adkins. Touchdown Denver. We are cooking here with 16 points in the first quarter in Denver, making it look easy against these Jets. All right, even the Charger tight ends here. I prefer Conklin over Disley. Let's go to the chat. All right, nukes at Dan Fouts, the game that he had there. All right, got Elliott says Dolphins and under. How about Vidal for an anytime touchdown? At least we're going to see hopefully more of Kimani Vidal, but I don't know. I'd rather just put all my eggs in the Hassan Haskins basket. Dak here for Timmy Two Shoes today in that game. Here's under for Ziggy, probably in the Chargers game. And Tom says go under. Timmy says Tua likes Waller. Look, Miami's 1-4, and we know how bad they've been. Or they're 1-3. Did they have their bye? Yeah. Oh no, they're 1-4. So we know how bad they've looked. But Chargers here for Barr, Waller for a TD, Allen for a TB, Achan, ATD. Here's Waller as well. Chargers have never done well in those games, Nuke. Well, a few times they have. All right. I'm taking the Dolphins here +4. I think there's just a little bit too banged up. Chargers a little too banged up here for me, and I'm going to take the Dolphins here to get this money. Might actually be an ugly game here. Chargers, the numbers look good, but just can their, backups, if you will, perform well enough? Or their number 2s and number 3s, I guess, more fair to say. All right. Yeah, 9 legacy. Yeah, we're expecting Tua in there for sure. Kripke says Dolphins. All right, one game here has been moved up to the 10 o'clock block, and it's the game between the Patriots and the Saints. Patriots on the road here, road favorite at New Orleans. Another one where, hey, are we just overlooking a bad team because they're, the reputation coming in this season was they were going to be very, very bad. All of a sudden, the Saints, they do have that win now. And I'm not saying they've been close in some of those games, but I may have even been on them a couple times in the losing role here. But the Patriots, I know everyone's pretty excited about Drake May. This looks a lot better right now with Drake May in there. And, still, though, it doesn't feel like they're totally productive on offense. Hunter Henry's looked pretty good for sure here, but let's take a look. Patriots at 3-2, so we're all excited right now, but still let down alert after the win last week against Buffalo. These are typical for teams that are not good, kind of rebuilding. Maybe they're good. Maybe we don't know if they're good. Patriots 6-3. ATS last 9 is a road favorite. Saints here won last week, even though they scored just one touchdown. They won 26-14 with a bunch of field goals last week. 6 field goals for the Saints. Saints were also very opportunistic last week, +5 in the turnover department. Saints are just 7-13 against the spread. Last 20 as a home underdog, and they give up 30 points a game in some of these games for sure. And I don't know if the Patriots have that much offense to come in here and do it. Spencer Rattler finally got that win. I guess if you go to the well enough, you're going to be able to pick one up. So for me here, I'm going to go with the under in this game at 46. If the Patriots get 40, if the Patriots get their share of this, I mean, they're looking at 20, at least 20, very at 24, might get 27. 27 will cover the spread, though. I guarantee you that. But I don't know if I like the Patriots here to cover against the Saints. But I'm going to go under here with the Patriots and the Saints at 46. All right, some picks coming in. It's going to be Elliott, Patriots and the over. Ziggy likes the Saints. SF Niner on the Patriots. 9 Legacy on the Patriots. They should win this game. Stand on. A lot of Patriots here in the chat. They got the momentum. Saints game over and Saints for Blake. Ziggy identifying the letdown spot. Diggs for a TD. Diggs. If anybody's going to be up and down, though, right, it would be Diggs. If he comes out, I'm still so in, I think that Olave, I think that Shaheed, these guys are playmakers in this league. It's a little tough with Rattler, but even he's been able to get the ball to him a few times. Nuke Patriots. And the win took a lot out of the Saints, too, don't forget. That's the 1 p.m. slate. And I'm on the under in this one. All right, the Jets here. We're in the second quarter now. Jets are at the 30-yard line with a 3rd down and 5. And Fields went up top for his man, but overthrew him, and then they'll have to punt. Not a great play. Go to the afternoon session here for Eastern 1 Pacific, 105, with the Raiders here in Vegas at home, favored by 4.5. Total here, call it 4. Call it 4 or 3.5 now. The move is definitely on the Titans here in this week because you know how good the Titans are. All right, whatever. I mean, look, I know we're all having a hard time making fun of Coach and everything that, he's over the hill here and not being able to turn this Raiders program around. It's hard. Not even Coach Carroll can turn these Raiders around. I mean, the only thing they got going for them practically is this stadium and Brock Bowers is out. So Tennessee comes in here 1-4 against the spread, 1-4 straight up, obviously, but they won in Arizona last week with that great job, great comeback, rewarded Tennessee fans anyway with a win after trailing 21-6 with 4 minutes left, come back and win that game 22-21. So Cam Ward not giving up just yet, but the Titans did switch their play callers. I don't know if that's making a difference or not. We need a little more sample size of that, but just 4 touchdowns all season here. Tennessee now 0-8 against the spread, last 8 wins. 0-8 against the spread coming off their last 8 wins. 0-8 ATS off of a win. That's a fact right now. So also Titans 4-12 against the spread, last 16 as an underdog. The Raiders here might be some things a little bit in their favor in this game. It feels like right now laying these points. In fact, it's gone down here a little bit, the move on the Titans. So Raiders don't have necessarily great spread numbers here, and they've lost their first 2 home games. And giving up plenty of points too. It does appear like another Raiders disaster, but so kind of rough to be favored here. But I'm probably gonna take them, but maybe I'll play the total. Let's see what you guys have here in this one. In the chat, then maybe I can make the call here in this one. Here in Vegas today. All right, here we go. Here we go. Okay, let's see. Okay, Nate was first off here. He's got the Patriots to smash right now. NYC Bar Patriots. Robert on the Patriots. Nate took the Broncos here live to start blowing these guys out a little bit. They are starting to look pretty strong here against these weak Jets. Fields, very inaccurate, didn't like that play call there. Ziggy's on the Raiders here. VAR on the over in this one with the Titans and the Raiders. And why are they starting both MLB games, Andrew? Andrew, just one today. Just one MLB game today. We're in the championship series now. Robert's on the Titan, or my OB. Oh, you're saying why are they starting them the MLB game at the same time as football. I got you. That right as the night game. I think is that what you're saying? Stan John likes Genty.
Final.
SF Niner is the tight. No, I don't. No Bowers. Roberts on the over. Titans here, terrible, but maybe they'll cover. Low total, sneaky over. That's what I got done. I'm going over actually with the Titans and the Raiders today. Taking the over for sure. Okay. All right. I think that is going to do it for that one. And we got a few more here. With 13:09 to go. Did they get it to Ingram here finally? A little bit. 49ers and Bucks. Here's the game of the day, right? Other than the night game, but the game of the day. 49ers and Bucks. Of course, we saw the 49ers getting off to a 4-1 start here, and the same with the Bucks, right? Man, Baker Mayfield has become the man. I mean, how can you not be a man's man and not want to be with Baker? Called that guy the P word in the stands and made everybody go crazy, and he backs it up on the field, and man, the Bucks are looking good, but so are the Niners, and this is a game right here, a game of the day, feels like here. 49ers, all 5 games decided by 5 points or less, close games, but they're clutch. That's important. Especially for the 49ers. So looks like we'll get Mac Jones, of course, in here in this one. The 49ers just 1-9 against the spread in their last 10 games off of a win coming in. Still are clutch. We know that. Also, Niners road underdog rarely, actually, just 4 times in the last couple of years, 1-3 ATS. Tampa Bay, same thing. All 5 games decided by 6 points or less, but they're 4-1. And their only loss was at home to the Eagles. Tampa Bay, though, 4-8 against the spread. Last 12 coming in off of a win. 49ers are 4-0 straight up in this series in the last 4 and winning 3 of their last 4 visits down here. But, man, what a game here in this one. I like the Bucks to cover this one here. I think the Niners are going to be pretty popular with you guys in the chat, but I'm actually taking the Bucks. Niners not covering games off of a win. They got the west to east travel. Yes, the Bucks make every game close, right? I mean, they can't get away from it. They love drama. Baker probably loves drama. All right. Here we go. 49ers and Bucks always go against terrible teams who are favored too much. Let's see here. Let's be honest. Ziggy said last week was lucky. Bucks here for Nuke. Stand on Niners money line here. John Lynch back. Mac undervalued. You know we've been about Mac though here on the show, so I'm still going with Tampa Bay, but I think I've been a Mac Jones guy here on the show on the YouTube here. Can't bet against Blake. It's you know what I might just bet Buccaneers by 3, right? I mean, this thing feels like it's going to land right on the number. Ziggy's got the under. How about Egbuka TD, Jennings TD, a little exacta there maybe. Raiders to cover for 9 legacy. Raiders team total over. 49ers money line. Roberts on the under. And to stand on says we know where to find you, Baker. Roberts going to take the Bucks here and lay it. Niners have been good. Bucks are, probably overshooting their actual potential as well, but I think it's most agreed, right? The 49ers, never a surprise if they're any good, right? But we were kind of marking them down a little bit, maybe, weren't we? And they've come up like the Niners again. We said Purdy goes down, right? We're not worried. Bring on Mac. Might be just as good. Let's not get carried away. But hey, give them more time with the Niners, right? All right. Titan. I know, no problems. You can talk about the Titans there. Kripke says maybe a toss up here. Bars on the over. Both teams coming back from the West Coast, right? So yeah, but you're in your own bed with your own bed. Jennings, Mac Jones taking it right, and you know what? You can move on maybe, but uh, still Purdy's job. I think that's they always say, right? Injury can't knock a guy out. I think in the 49ers case, they are a team, especially with Mac Jones. Unless you start going out there and throwing 300-yard game, well, watch out, but. And Ready Samedi says Baker to go over. And just to be patient with some of these guys, right? Mac Jones, maybe it was a little bit when you're rushed in with the Patriots, right? And then you put him on an organization like the 49ers, say what you will, then it becomes a little bit more of a stable situation. Niners have obviously been a winner. Well, they got to take this kid off the field for a concussion look here, McDonald. And watch out who's in that blue tent, right? We saw get my guy back in the game from the Giants. All right, a couple more here. Bengals and Packers. We have to talk about this one. 2-touchdown favorite here with
Steam play.
The Bengals and the Packers here in this one. And, well, what could you say? I mean, Bengals here are going to try to change their fortunes with Joe Flacco. Now, it does seem like if you're going to bring some veteran in like this situation that Flacco could learn enough here, but you also have this pitiful offensive line that is probably worse than Cleveland's offensive line, and Joe can't move. So Bengals have only run the ball for 57 yards a game this season. I mean, it feels like they're going to get destroyed in this game, actually. Yeah, you want to take some teams in some ugly spots, but I don't think I can take Cincinnati in this spot. They are 22-15 against the spread, last 37 off of a loss. That's something to at least is okay here, but Bengals have lost their last three games by 28, by 38, by 25, by 13 points. Green Bay's won at home convincingly, 27-13, 27-18. The defense is terrific, holding three of their four opponents to under 250 total yards, despite what happened in that Dallas game a little bit. Remember, they were leading 13-0. So Packers 8-4, last 12. ATS is a home favorite. 5-1. ATS is a double-digit favorite in their last 5 opportunities in that role. So in this one, I'm going to take the under here. I don't know if the Bengals are going to be able to score too much against the Packers. And at 44, I'm going to take the under in this one. Get your play in the chat ready, and I'll go over them here, but I'm going under. Can't talk me out of it. Purdy's got that money. Matt can go make some more money, right? That's a loose ball? No, that's not a loose ball. Okay, here we go with Ziggy's on the Packers, ATS bars on the Bengals. Nuke says, could it be a backdoor situation here for the Bengals and Joe Flacco, right? Maybe Flacco's kind of a backdoor guy. What's wrong with T. Higgins, though? Is he going to wake up at all? Is T. Higgins even out there half the time? Roberts on the over. Stand on. Packers may get all the. They might actually, right? Got Golden here for a TD. Dobbs over in his receptions. Ready Samedi likes the under in the Bengals. And hello to Sharpie today. He's talking our big baseball playoff game tonight. Says Blue Jays over 9.5 strikeouts thrown with that staff, right? Because we're going with and Gausman to record the win. So tells you a little bit more there. Sharpie talking here, the Blue Jays here in the opener, but also specifically Gausman to get the win. That means he'll deal. That means that means Gausman running pretty deep and having a great game and great strikeouts. And adding a few maybe from the bullpen. The Sharpie says, it says Blue Jays over 9.5, but that shows I think he's got Gausman here to look pretty sharp today against the M's. Thank you, Sharpie. And that'll run concurrently with our night game tonight. Great timing with the Lions taking on the Chiefs. Here should be feels like should be an explosive game. It feels like actually who's going to play defense in this one? Maybe there should be some defense with two solid teams. Let's not bury the Chiefs just yet at 2-3, but they're underdogs, man. Could you imagine the Chiefs 2-4 here right now? Detroit might. The feels like the matchup's really good for Detroit, but man, the Chiefs can't go 2-4, can they? And the Lions go 5-1. The move's obviously been on the Chiefs here. They open 1.5, 1.5 up to 2.5, but I don't know, man. I'm sure they need it more. This is the NFL. Sometimes it happens, but boy, Detroit right now against this, from what we saw from the Chiefs, I don't know. I don't know if the Chiefs, they need this one, but man. All right, let me hear from you guys on it. I'll give the Chiefs a big chance here. I think I'm interested in 2.5 points. I mean, they might win at the wire. Maybe the Chiefs will win at the wire. I don't see the Lions getting away. But Lions have won 4 straight, so they're probably due here for a loss in the NFL. But they're averaging 40 a game. It's nonstop. They're +7 in turnovers in the last 4 games as well. They're stopping the run, holding teams under 100 yards. I mean, they're almost doing nothing wrong right now. 8-4 ATS, last 12 as a road dog. 6, you know all the Campbell numbers. 16-7 ATS in non-conference games. 25-11 ATS off of a win. 16-6 ATS. In tightly contested games of 3 points or fewer. Chiefs have the short week. They played on Monday night. Chiefs are starting to get some takeaways for sure, and they've been throwing the ball big time. 570 yards over the last couple of games for Mahomes. Not a great roll here, though, Chiefs. 17-22. ATS is a home favorite, but 8-4 ATS last 12 off of a loss. This one feels like it's going to go through the roof. You got, I think I got to go over. There was an anticipated game 2 years ago they played here. I thought it was going to be. It turned out 21-20. The Lions won. I thought that was going to be a high-scoring game, and it wasn't. I remember it. Let's go here in the chat with our last game of the morning. Barr said go under. Reddy said Flacco's been throwing those picks. SF9 are on the Chiefs. Ziggy's on the Chiefs. Kripke Lions. Hello to Tariq in the chat. Chiefs have not seen the same Chiefs, huh? Nine Legacy says Casey on the spread and then take the Packers. Chiefs by a field goal, says Blake. Reddy Samedi's ready to flip a coin. And Timmy Chushu says Mahomes to take off running. Man, he's expected to have, 35 yards rushing today in this one. I'm going over in Detroit and Kansas City here. 52.5. It's up. Is it 53 yet? That's down to 52 in some spots. Okay, that's it for the NFL. Thanks for that, everybody. Appreciate you guys joining me for that. We're going to cover the rest of the action here. Not much else going on, but I think we had the preview there of the baseball game with Sharpie. Probably did a disservice here by going the NFL. I was so fired up about the Jets game here and getting started that thanks to Sharpie for that. So for Toronto here, look, $1.75. I don't know if I'm too interested necessarily in that. But I respect what Sharpie's saying for sure, and they probably should deal here. Definitely it looks like an advantageous situation given the 15-inning game by the Mariners last time out and what they'll be up against pitching-wise, what Seattle has to do pitching-wise in this game just to stay in this game. Toronto might put up some runs here in this one. I'm actually going over in this game as my pick here on the Morning Steam show. I'm going to go over the 8 now. It's up to 8, so man, we haven't seen too many playoff games at 8. Oh, gosh. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. A big sack there by Cooper on Fields. This Denver rushing pass rush can really do that to you. All of a sudden, Fields was running around in nowhere land there and got pancaked. I don't even know what he was running from. That was just woof. Woo, here come Denver guys. All right, so Mariners here, they're going to have to piece this one together. You know, Miller, I mean, he pitched in that game, so they're going to I believe so, and he had to work through all these guys here in this situation as it just, turned out to be, like we said, a really, really tough situation to go 15 innings there, and now you're going to have to come back in this one and kind of put this pitching staff together here against the Blue Jays, at least with a pretty established starter in Gausman for sure. 32 starts, 3.59 ERA, 106 WHIP. Coming in. Seattle also not hitting really that well in the postseason, just barely over 200, while Toronto's actually been crushing for sure. Miller, 5 starts, ERA close to 6 here of late. The Seattle bullpen also has been kind of struggling here, so give me the over in this one. Blue Jays actually, in a pretty decent position. I just think the line's very, very high, and hopefully Seattle shows some pride here, but they're expected to get rocked pretty good today. I'll take the over in this one. All right, let's see what we got here. Sharpie is also talking about the Chiefs here. Mahomes is down, take his rushing yards over, right? He's going to do that thing where once he doesn't find his targets, he knows where to go. Tariq's on Toronto. SF Niner says, I don't like the Lions when they play outdoors. Blake's on the over right now. Vladdy is Vladdy. You know what? His dad was good, but Vladdy's better. You know what? Thank you, Ziggy. And Gausman said, or Sharpie says, when Gausman's on extra rest, that's been where he has been strong. SF Niner is going to take the Jets here right now. And Nukes can't wait for this one tonight. Timmy Two Shoes says, Alejandro, my man from Tijuana, for an RBI. And Sharpie says he backed Miller in and the under in the last playoff game, but this is just a overwhelming situation. I guess that's why we don't play the regular season anymore until the death, like we used to do. I went to a 22-inning game one time, and when you're 9 years old, you think it's the greatest thing in the world. Can't wait to get the sporting news and look at the box score. All right, bars on the Blue Jays. Robert says Blue Jays, first 5. Kripke says Mariners money line or run line here. Look, the point for taking the Mariners is still a baseball game, right? And really about the only thing you can say if you're going to back the Mariners is the price, I guess. Reddy says over 8 possibly. And Ingram, cash it with Evan Ingram already. And Sharp was at that Red Sox-Dodgers thriller. Right, that might be it for the baseball. Enjoy the game tonight. And there's one game in the National Hockey League here with the Caps taking on the Rangers here in this one. Again, NHL, we've got 15 games one night. We got one game the next night. That's just the way we're doing it here right now. You wonder if they'll ever catch up. Well, actually, they do on Monday. But we got one game to look at here with Washington and the Rangers here tonight. And I think I've got Lindgren and Quickie in there right now. So gonna at least get some other goalies in here, get the backups in here a little bit, and see what you got. See if you guys want to go here in this one with the Caps and the Rangers here. just one game. This one goes off at 7:07 Eastern, 4:07 Pacific. Caps come in 1-1. The Rangers have 2 wins so far. Actually, the Capitals have moved to a slight favorite. A few books here right now. And look, Washington's never really done well here of late. 1-5 last 6 against the Rangers overall. 4 of the last 6 meetings have gone over between the two teams so far, and that's a pretty heavily juiced 5.5. The number's actually kind of gone up to 6 here. There we go. And I think with Lindgren and Quick, I'm going to go over in this one at 6. Give me the over with the Caps and the Rangers tonight. Okay, let's see what's up. There is Razor in the chat bar. Went over in the hockey game. Thank you to Razor for stopping by and dropping the info. Razor, nice to see you in the chat. Have a great day today. And I think that's it from you guys in the chat. I think that might be it. Well, let's go. So let's take a look at some NBA here real quick. We already saw that other game just finish a short time ago, and it was the Brooklyn Nets defeating Phoenix again. 111-109. Brooklyn got the money. 5-point dogs. It went stayed under here, I think, actually, in that game at 220 points, but Brooklyn got it there. Coming up here, a few games today, including Toronto is taking on Washington. Just going to run through these real quick and have a complete show, then we'll get on out of here. Thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam. Go ahead and type something in the chat if you want to win some free plays from me here today. But Raptors and Wizards here. We're going to take a look at all these. I think there's 5 or 6 games here real quick. All right, Raptors and Wizards here. Toronto's young guys kind of showing some cohesion here, it feels like, so far. But I like the under here in this one with Toronto and Washington. Washington's kind of struggled a little bit. They are allowing a few points here for sure, but I'm going to try the under here with Toronto and Washington. Here's Denver getting well inside the 30, 25-20 is Franklin. Big play here for Franklin with 4:39 to go in the first half. Miami and Orlando here real quick. Magic going to be a big favorite in this one here. And I think for me, I'm going to end up here taking the points with Miami at +7, I think it looks like there. Let's see what we have. Yeah, mostly +7 out there today. Cavaliers and Celtics. In this one, looks like about a 1-point spread here, but I like Boston here in this one to knock off Cleveland. Right now, we don't know, the type of lineups we're seeing out there, but Cleveland hasn't shown a lot of balance here just yet. Boston's actually won both their games so far. A couple more here real quick with the Bucks taking on the Bulls. I think I've lost the graphic here. Oh, there we go. The Bucks are taking on the Bulls here in this one, and you got the both. I think both teams are undefeated here so far, but I like Milwaukee here in this one to knock off Chicago. Both teams coming in 2-0 right now. Next up, Warriors and Lakers here, pretty much just been on the going against the Lakers pretty much every time right now. And I don't know, it feels like we're going to do the same thing here today. No reason to be taking the Lakers. They seem to be taking the preseason off. They've got injury woes, obviously, here. But they are favored in this one up to 3.5. So maybe this is the one. If you play the moves, and the moves are usually right in the preseason, you're supposed to take the Lakers here, but just not going to do it right now. And finally, Nuggets and the Clippers here in this one tonight with a very closely rated game in this one. But I'm on the Denver Nuggets to win here tonight. All right. That's going to do it for the morning steam. Let's do the drawing, and let's hear from Mikey and give us some update on Winnable.
it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
Okay, thank you, Mikey. And let's do the drawing right now and pick a name and give someone a month of plays today. And I've got to have an NFL card here coming out momentarily with my favorite plays. And let's take a look and see who wins the promotion. We've got Ready Samedi. We've got Gerald. We've got Jesserica. We've got Terrell. We've got Nick. We've got Gerald. We've got Brody. Brody, I'll add a month. I'll add a month for you for sure, Brody. Thank you very much for your contributions to the site. Thank you, Brody. Yay, Brody. Want it. Thank you, Brody. Okay, that's going to do it for the morning steam here. A few questions about some props today. Let me see if I got we talked about the Chargers and their running game with Hassan Haskins. I mean, Hassan Haskins has to look pretty hot today there in the prop land. Where's that at? Where was that question there? Blake was the one who said it there. So Hassan Haskins for sure. DK Metcalf of the Steelers looks pretty good for some props today. I definitely like him over. I'm talking about over props here. I'm not going to bore you guys with some under props. I mean, I've got plenty of those. Believe me, but we want exciting over props today for sure. So Hassan Haskins, definitely one of them there. Also in Buka again, we're going in Buka for sure today. And Worthy is in, by the way. I think you can look at Worthy today. Tonight, and we'll be on the show, so we'll do the props tonight on the primetime show. Make sure you check it out there. Ready? Yeah, I know. Ready? Maybe I was on the show the other night. Me and my partner went 8-2 in the preseason, so I'm like, let's keep betting preseason right now. VAR over 231 in the. I think that's a Milwaukee-Chicago game, or maybe it's a Toronto game. I'm sorry I went so fast, you guys. VAR says Warriors, LeBron's hurt. You got to wonder, man. Bad timing, right? Remember what I said on that show the other day? He was doing the press conference the other day. It was like, oh, this guy's going to retire. He's going to announce retire at the end of the season. And it turned out to be a promotion for, some booze. I mean, just goes to show you a little bit of a jinx there. Everybody got all bent out of shape on that. What was it, Courvoisier or something? All right, thanks, everybody. And join us for the live stream tonight with Razor in there. Thank you. And it is Thanksgiving weekend. Okay, Nuke, have a great weekend. Thanks, everybody. More morning steam tomorrow. And check us out tonight. We'll have here coming up actually during the football games. It's at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. We'll have BB MMA picks during the football game, but that's okay for Dana White Contender Series week number 10. So it'll be the last show of the season. So we'll do that. That's okay. Even though we need to do it during the football games, but that's all right. We'll do it. It'll just be those 3 games and we can handle it. So check us out for that show and then the primetime show tonight here on the Sports Money Network. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Sports money. Wake your ass up and let's get to the